From the time we turn 3 years old, we believe that we can be anything we want to be. We believe that we can be great. We believe that we can be athletes. We believe that we can be authors, inventors, millionaires, even the president. We believe that we can be like John Glenn, face of the American space campaign against the Soviets. We believe that we can be like Steve Jobs, the man who revolutionized how we listen to music through the iPhone in your pocket. And we believe that we can be like President Abraham Lincoln, the man who held the United States together during her darkest hours. And we can be, but we have to do what they did in order to have what they had. Let me tell you a story about that. When I was a little kid, I had a slight obsession with American heroes. I would spend countless hours sitting on the couch, reading articles out of my grandmother's old 1967 World Book Encyclopedia. And I would study Ben Franklin, I would study Thomas Jefferson, George Washington, President Lincoln. These were the men I idolized. And like any little kid, I told my dad that I wanted to be like them when I grew up. And I still remember what my dad told me. Well, he said, if you want to be like them, stop reading books about them and start reading the books they read. And so that's what I set out to do. Lucky for me, my heroes happened to be avid readers, so I had a lot to choose from. And they were all self-educated, different degrees of standard schooling. Some had been advanced degrees, some had dropped out of high school or college, and one hadn't even stepped in school a day past the age of 13. But all of them took personal responsibility for their education. In his youth, President Lincoln was known for reading the King James Bible, Aesop's Fables, Robinson Crusoe, The Life of Washington, and Benjamin Franklin's autobiography. He sought knowledge with a passion. And then we have today's college student. We read hundreds of pages in textbooks every semester. So where are our results? Well, first, are we actually reading the book? Or are we just looking up the major themes, motifs, and plot points on SparkNotes? If we don't physically read the book, then we only have ourselves to blame. Second, what's the book trying to convey? Is it new material, trade secrets, maybe dogma? If we don't know what the book is trying to teach us, how can we utilize it? And third, why are we reading the book? Was it because we wanted to, or because a professor told us to? How many times have we had to sit through a class and read a book that was dull and uninteresting with no more explanation than a professor put it on the syllabus? But on the other hand, if I'm sitting in a business class and I have aspirations of being a hedge fund manager, and then my professor tells me we're going to be reading The Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham, and then elaborates that that's Warren Buffett's favorite book, well, now you have my attention. And here's where the big separation is. Warren Buffett read the book because he wanted to. In the case of The Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham, he was looking for the intellectual framework to make investment decisions. After gaining this framework, he then sought Graham's next book, Security Analysis, in order to figure out how to evaluate companies and then compare that to what the market thinks. After that, he was so enamored with Graham that he enrolled at Columbia in order to have him as a professor. It was Graham's teachings that sparked Buffett's innate curiosity. He used those teachings in his takeover of Berkshire Hathaway, and now some 50 years later, he's worth over $70 billion and is one of the wealthiest men in the world. But that wasn't Buffett's intention. In multiple interviews, Buffett stated that he was content making $200,000 a year. After that, he just didn't care anymore. He still lives in the same house he bought in 1958. He hasn't had a pay raise in 25 years, and we're going to say he's successful because he's wealthy. Warren Buffett says he's successful because he does what he loves, and he does it well. But society doesn't condition us to think like Buffett. We have become acclimated with the idea that wealth and success are synonymous. And the way to wealth? Go to college, get your degree, find a six-figure income. But that was never the goal of college. College was intended as a rite of passage. It was a place where you learned and you took risks. It was where you found purpose, you found meaning, and you defined success for yourself. Now we only enter college with the aspirations of the money it can provide us. We choose to be a math major, not because we love math, but because we were good at it in high school. And we'll use that math major to get a degree, and then take that degree and get a job in computer science. Not because we love the field, but because that's where the money is. We're not passionate about purpose anymore, we're passionate about paychecks. But if we want to be like our heroes, we have to believe in a better world. We have to put our faith in the person that forgoes the downtrodden path of the moneyed major that is accounting to instead follow their heart's desire and become a photographer. When we honor people like that, we pay tribute to a dream that has long laid dormant that is beginning to stir inside all of us. History floods us with examples of people who have pursued their own curiosity and then stumbled upon success. Money did not motivate Thomas Edison to fail 10,000 times trying to make a light bulb, but he trekked on, completely self-inspired, convinced that he would get it right. He did, and that process of creation was his success. He just happened to end up being worth millions of dollars in the process. More recently, we see Mark Zuckerberg, the man that founded Facebook from his dorm room. When he did it, he was a college student solving a problem. He wanted to party. He wasn't thinking about the money involved. For the first few years of its existence, we needed a .edu email just to register on Facebook. Don't you think if he wanted our money, he would have let everybody in? And in all actuality, he probably works for less than any of us because he only makes $1 US in his salary every year. But we see that he's worth 35 billion and deem him successful for that. In our study of history's greats, we have mistakenly aligned a cause and effect relationship between wealth and success. The two are correlated, but we don't need one for the other. Newton and Einstein were not rich men, but they were successful. And what about the man that wakes up at 4 a.m. every day to drive children to school with a smile on his face and joy in his heart? Or the woman that never takes on an industry job because she works full-time in the house raising 4 little ones that she loves and cherishes? We're not all going to be billionaires, and we're not all going to be famous. Success is not a means to an end, but a part of our quest on the journey for self-fulfillment. It is filled with growth, with exploration, with risks, with creation. We all have so many infinitely different aspirations, and therefore we can take infinitely different journeys. We always ask our heroes, what's the secret to success? The secret is to understand ourselves and stay true to our hopes and dreams. We can all be successful. Thank y'all.